Hello and welcome to another still cold and wintry Cambridgeshire venue. Today we're going to be doing an extended D-rig, not primarily used for pop-up rigs and critically balanced rigs and such like. Just trying to keep on the winter theme of rigs at the minute. Again, we're going to need 3 items to tackle to tie the rig. Hook link, which is the Armatech Core semi-stiff in £15 this time. Your curved shank hooks in size 8. And then your micro ring swivels. Now then, we're going to need about 10-11 inches of this to start off with for this rig, because we're going to be tying 2 knots to the hook end. So we're going to take a hook link, and we're not going to thread it through the eye this time, or yet. We're going to just hold the hook link along the shank of the hook, and the tag end wants to be facing towards the eye. You want to leave about 2 inches, just something to grab hold of later. So trapping the hook link and the hook, we're going to loop this back on itself, and we're going to make 3 turns around both the tag end and the hook shank. 3 turns. Just try and keep everything neat and as it was in the first instance. Second step is to pinch the loops you've just made, or the twists around the shank, trapping it all, taking the long tag end and then passing it through the loop you initially started and tying the hook. Now once you've got to this point, obviously lick and stick, and what you should end up with is a whipped on hook 3/4 of the way up the shank, like so. So the hook's on backwards at this point. With this tag end you can trim it ever so close. This isn't going to be holding any fish, it's just the hook bait. So there we go. Next you need your micro ring swivel, and threading on through the ring end all the way down the hook link towards the hook. And then the next step of the rig is basically the knotless knot presentation. So you just need to go through the back of the eye, pulling it all through. At this point we can gauge the length or the size of the D. Once you've got to gauge the size of the D you require, you trap it all in position and then whip back down once, twice, 3 times, and then back through the back of the hook again. Now once all this is pulled down tight, you should end up with an extended D. Now tying the hook baits onto these rigs, couldn't be simpler. For this you need a bit of bait floss or a bit of braid, whatever you fancy. I'm going to go through the end eye of the micro ring swivel and then just even out the tag ends. Next we're going to take a bait, pierce the bait, and then just basically thread it onto the hair. Now next step is to pull it all the way down, just so the eye of the swivel is just protruding the bait, so the rest of the swivel is just nice and neatly tucked into the bait there. You should end up with something like that. Then with the 2 tag ends, it's just a case of a couple of granny knots in top. I mean, doing it this way is primarily like a short session kind of way of tying your bait on. If you're here for a long time, got a night or 2 ahead of you, or really if there's like a lot of nuisance fish in the lake that's liable to start pecking away at your rig, you can just do 1 overhand knot and put a bait stop in it and then a couple of overhand knots on top. But just short quick day sessions, quick overnighters, or lakes with hardly any fish in, this way's fine. Once you've got your 2 little tag ends, again just blob them down, it's just more neatness than anything else. And then there you go, that's the finish. Critically balanced extended D-rig. Suppose you like it.